Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this week's Community Spotlight. With me today is Charlie Ludden. Did I say that right?
You did.
All right, good deal. He is the development manager for CASA of Oklahoma County. And Charlie, tell everybody what CASA does.
So CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. And what we do is we provide regular, everyday community volunteers to accompany and kids that are in the foster care system and to help them through the journey of their case while their case is open. I think if any of us here, you're going to court, we all have these eyes that go, oh no, what are we gonna do? Now let's think about that for a child who's 5, 6, 7, 12, 16 years old. And they're supposed to be going through all this trying to figure out what's going to happen for their life. So when we train these volunteers, we recruit them, we train them, they go through a rigorous training to make sure they are the appropriate people to be helping these kids. And then they stay on the case until that child finds their forever home, guiding them through, getting to know them, finding out what their likes are, what their dislikes are, what their struggles are, what their joys are. They have that trusted confidant that they have now, and that person goes to court with them. That person checks on them at minimum once a month to make sure everything's going well at wherever they're living at that time, until their case closes in their new forever home.
What a wonderful, wonderful service that you guys are providing for those kiddos. And, you know, think about that. You've got kids so many different ages and just the difference between a 6-year-old and a 16-year-old is vast. And then all the different types of trauma that they may have seen or gone through. I mean, I can imagine that it would take a rigorous volunteer training program. And so you need some resources to do that, which is your job, right? To kind of connect people who want to help out. You know, not everybody is cut out to be an advocate, but we can all chip in our own way. And that's one way that people could do that. So the pandemic.
What pandemic? There's a pandemic? What are you talking about?
Well, you know, I've been talking to a lot of nonprofits and, you know, it's challenging right now. It is so challenging. And when you're talking about something that is so personal as going to court with someone, and then you've got kids that are in foster care or in transition to foster care and to their forever home. I love that phrase. And you've got volunteers who want to be safe and do that safely. How have you guys handled all of those challenges?
So the pandemic has definitely been one of those things. And I say this is for everybody. Obviously, we didn't see this coming. We didn't know what we were going to do. But the beauty of our team is we adapted, and I loved every moment of it. So when we first heard everything was going on and saying, well, we're still taking care of our kids, so let's see what we need to do. But we also want to make sure everyone was healthy. So we changed our protocols. Normally, you have to lay eyes on the child that you're on the case for at least once a month. So what we did, instead of making those home visits, we've opened up the policy where people could do things like Zoom meetings or Skype or FaceTime. And we asked them to do that more frequently to check on it. So for us, we actually never stopped any of our services at all during this pandemic. Which is hard to do. We just adjusted, but we want to make sure that no matter what's happening, these kids are taken care of. These kids still have their people, because most of them have experienced people disappearing, leaving their lives. And even though a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old is not going to understand what a pandemic means. So all they're going to understand is so-and-so's not here anymore. So-and-so left me also. And we can't do that. So what we've done is we've made sure that they get to see them, they get to make FaceTime calls. They've had, we did a story, about I think right when the pandemic started, of one of our CASAs that was trying to figure out ways to engage. So he started teaching one of the kids on his case magic through FaceTime. So they found little fun little things. They would do drive-by drop-offs where they knew it was a birthday or something, and they would go and they would leave a special meal at the foster home or wherever they were at, and then send a message and say, hey, look outside. And they would see them in their truck waving and then drive off that way. So we're keeping up with the regulations, but still getting to see them. So we've gotten creative. One of the cool things is during this time, we've had 19 people go through the whole training process and still sign up to be CASAs. And we've done all the training. We actually have a training class going through right now. But 19 people were sworn in. The judges were great. And we had a judge do 3 different swear-ins. to get more people out and ready during all of this pandemic. So it's been exciting, and we're still going and revving up and getting ready for 2 more classes, actually getting ready.
So one of the things I'm so proud of the nonprofit sector is how creative you all have been. And it's been really inspiring to watch how all the different nonprofits have adapted, because you said it in the very first part of that sentence. We're not going to stop. We're going to continue to serve the people that we've committed to serving. We just got to think through how we're going to do that. Mm-hmm. So what do you got next? You said you've got a training class coming for some new CASAs. What else have you got going on?
So one of the things is the negative side, obviously, to the pandemic is we lost both of our fundraisers. We have 2 major fundraisers that we do. So our struggle we can still get the program side going, but we all know any program costs. So some things that we're trying to find new ways to bring in that revenue. So one of the things right now, we're actually having all next week, we're sitting down talking about, okay, what happens if this pandemic continues? So now we're coming up with some possibly cool different ideas to do some fundraising efforts. One of the things that's continuing is we're going to keep doing training virtually. We're going to keep getting people ready that want to be sworn in, that want to serve. That's not going to stop. So we're still going with there. But we're also doing, which we love to do, is our community outreach projects. So we try to make sure, and we try to incorporate other nonprofits. We'll pick a day. Our next one is August 5th. We're going to be down at the Myriad Gardens, and we're passing out PPE masks. We know that people are trying to figure out what's going to happen with school and those kind of things. And so we have had a wonderful community outreach of people providing masks for our children and for CASA and our volunteers, where we still have extra. So we said, instead of just putting them in a closet, let's get them out so they can be used. So on August 5th, with the Dodgers Foundation and with PAL, Police Athletic League, we're going to be out there passing out masks and doing like a meet and greet, kind of like a brown bag lunch style, where if you want to come down during your lunch break and hang out in the park, socially distant, find your little spot. And we'll be out there talking a little bit about CASA and PAL and Dodgers Foundation, and just saying, hey, this is something that we can do, and then passing out masks to people. Some of them are really cool decorated. I know I joke, I have 2 Disney ones. That's my thing. So I have 2 Disney villain ones that I wear. So just mixing them up. Sometimes you gotta have to have one washed and then one that's fresh and ready to go. So doing those kind of things. But we're just getting out in the community, let everybody know that CASA's still there, and keeping people's awareness to know what's going on for our organizations and stuff like that. And then also using our platform to share information about other organizations. In the nonprofit sector, we have to do this together. I would say about 10 or 15 years ago, everyone was pretty siloed. There wasn't collaboration that was really, truly effective. People were doing things here and there. Nowadays, it's like cousins and siblings. We're just like, what are we going to do together? Let's make this happen. Let's unite. And what makes that exciting is our funders love that. I mean, funders like to see that you're not duplicating services and that you work together, because that's more cost effective on their side of it. And then we have fun with it, because we're making sure that every single one of our constituents, no matter who they call as their person, is taken care of and has those services. So the more community outreach we can do and being present, we're using those funds that we do have, even though we lost so much, wisely. We're being great stewards with the monies and the resources we do have. So that's always been exciting, and we're going to keep on going with that.
Well, I think you guys do a great job of that, and absolutely love that analogy that we are family, and we all do different things, and we all bring something different to the table, so to speak. But it's good when we can work on behalf of one another, and just knowing where to send somebody. Some of the best assistance I've ever given has never involved me writing a check. It's been connecting people to the resources that they truly needed. And so that you are just instinctively doing that and offering these opportunities, I think is just work well done. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you.
So you need help with funds. Everybody does. Mm-hmm. And you want folks to come down to the picnic, which sounds like a really fun time. And what a great group of people that you've brought together. We're happy to support you guys as well. And tell me how people can get involved.
Yeah, so anytime they want to, at any point, you can always go to our website, which is okcountycasa.org. If you go to our /support, so CASA.org/support, you'll see any events we have. You'll see our donation page. But we're very active on all our social media presences, our Facebook account, follow us there, Instagram. That gives you the normal updates of what's going on in the system. So as we're planning our new events that we may start thinking of something and like launch it in 2 weeks, and everyone's like, whoa, where did that come from? And those are the things we like to do to keep present and engage with everybody. But staying aware on our pages really is what you get to know, how do you get to know what's happening next? And that's the exciting portion about it. If you're thinking about wanting to take that step to support those kids and maybe going through the training process, you can do that too. If you go to our website, there's a little link, and Kathy North will be more than excited to talk to you about what the process is. And that's what we tell everybody else. Just because you go to the website and fill out the form doesn't mean you're set in stone. You can call, put in a coffee request or a Zoom request, and we'll talk to you. We'll tell you what it looks like. We'll tell you what the commitment's like, because that's our whole goal, is getting people trained so that we can serve as many children as the judges request. The last thing we want is the judge say, hey, I need a CASA, and we say, hey, we don't have any. That's not what we want. We want to have people ready to go and launch as soon as the judge says, hey, I have 10. And I say, well, I have 12 ready to go, so give me 2 more. That's our plan. So we're going to keep training people and getting them ready. And my job is bringing in the resources so that we can do that. There is a cost for training and a cost for taking care of those kids. And that is the challenge that I have, and I'd love to have it, and I'm ready to go. So anytime you have questions or concerns or doubts, whatever it may be, go to our website, give me a call. I am always ready, those kind of things. So yeah, just reach out anytime.
And ladies and gentlemen, he's not joking. He is one of the genuinely happiest, personable people in the nonprofit sector. And that's saying something, because we're all pretty happy, nice, helpful people, but you really are just an amazing person, and you do a great job. And we appreciate you coming and sharing a little bit about what you do and the passion behind that. Anything else you'd like to add before we close this up?
No, I think that's good. I mean, anytime you guys have any questions, our staff is ready to answer all of those things. So just let us know, and we're there and we're ready to go. And if you just want to join in on some of our community outreach things, let us know. We'll definitely get you on the schedule. Or if you have an idea, just share it with us and we'll make something happen.
And guys, if you're watching this at home and you think to yourself, I don't know that this is a good fit for me. First of all, like Charlie said, call and find out, because sometimes we build up expectations in our head that may or may not be true. So if you love kids and you think this might be something that you want to help with, please don't hesitate to reach out to them. Or if you work for a company that often gets everybody together, this might be an opportunity to invite them in, or to have them join a Zoom call where they can explain. And maybe it's not you, maybe you're just the conduit to someone else that could do it. So think through some of those ways you can support as well. And I can't wait to hear how the picnic goes, Charlie. And for everybody watching at home, thank you so much for joining us again this week, and look forward to seeing you all at the ballpark. Bye.
See you all.